Friends, welcome to another reel by Hindustan Socialists, where we look at socialism from an Indian perspective. Today, we try to understand Lenin and Lenin's selected writings by Vijay Prashad. It's very good book, and of course, his collected volumes runs over thousands and thousands of pages. Now, why are we trying to understand Lenin? This is a time of uprising. It's a time of unrest. There is Gen Z revolution going on in many parts of the world, including India, our immediate neighborhood, and there is uprising. So we need to understand Lenin and the context of the Russian Revolution. Okay, Lenin was born in Simbirsk in Russia under the Tsarist Empire, the Russian Empire, and which was the last standing monarchy in Europe, when a time when other Western had moved towards liberalism, some kind of democracy, but Russia was still absolutism. Although the serfdom was abolished in the 1900s, but still it was a pot boiler and it could uprise anytime. And that came with the First World War. When the First World War happened, the workers, soldiers, the Soviets as they were called, and the sailors, they came together and they started getting a lot of there was a lot of unrest in the army because the war wasn't going well on the Russian front. And this led to Lenin giving the slogan of turn the imperialist war, which basically is war between the imperialists, into a civil war. So he said, you fight for the workers. You don't need to fight the workers of each other country for these imperialist powers. That rang a bell amongst the workers. And by the time February came, the Tsar had to abdicate. That was the February Revolution. But an interim government was formed. There was not much improvement. Finally, Lenin, the Bolsheviks, the Russian Social Democratic Party, they came and they organized the Soviet councils, the worker councils, and that led to the coup, which finally they could have the 1917 November Revolution or the October Revolution, as it's famously called. And the USSR was formed, the Union of Soviet Socialist Republic. Now, why is it important? Because Lenin's important message was organization. When you organize the worker councils, that's when you get a direction. Similarly, all these uprisings happening in the world, they can have their spontaneous effect. For example, in Egypt, we had the Arab Spring, right? But that didn't lead to anything because the party which is most organized will get the success. And in that case, it was the Muslim Brotherhood. So we need to understand that organization, direction, tactics is what we need to learn from Lenin, and which will then lead the revolution to something more productive and against the ruling establishments. So Lenin is very important. His theories are the imperialism and other books very important to read. Thanks for watching.